Hello, welcome to Body Rehab Fitness, where we take fitness one day at a time, and today is a new day. Let's start with a fresh start. We'll start with stretching, but first, we have to breathe. I want to teach you sequences of breathing in order to help the stretch, for you to stretch better. So what I'll start with today is talking to you about proper breathing. Don't hold your breath. I see that when we exercise, a lot of times we hold our breath. Breathing helps deepen the stretch and prevents injury. So let's start with a few breathing exercises. The first one is just a normal, natural breathing. Breathe in and breathe out. And this is difficult for me sometimes because I have asthma, so you'll see me breathing a lot. In and out. And then breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. And out through your mouth. Another exercise we'll do with breathing will be breathe in for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and breathe out for 4 seconds. Let's try it. Breathe in, hold, out. Let's try it again. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. One more time. Breathe in, hold, breathe out. Most times when you're breathing, let's take it all the way down to the diaphragm, all the way into the belly, and then out. Try not to raise your shoulders when you breathe. Just try and relax. Breathing should be natural, but when you're stretching, you want to make sure you breathe on exertion and inhale when you're not. Don't worry, I'll tell you when to breathe while we're stretching. Let's get started with our stretching exercises. First, you can do this in a chair or standing, sitting or kneeling, in the bed or wherever's most comfortable for you. But first, let's just go ahead and start with our stance. I would like for your feet to be underneath your hips under your shoulders, and your chin straight ahead. Let's go ahead and look to the window or to the left. Go ahead and hold that for 10 seconds and breathe. Look a little bit more over your shoulder and then back to the center and to the wall, to the right. Go ahead and breathe. One more time to the center, to the left, to the center, and to the wall. Back to the center. Now put your chin towards your chest. Go ahead and let those shoulders, keep those shoulders back and the chin towards the chest. And then now all the way, bring your head all the way to the back, stretching the neck. This feels good. And you may often hear me moan and groan through this because it's really working me out here as well. Back to the chest, and then all the way back. And if you haven't done this in a while, you'll feel the difference. All right, go ahead and put your head back to the center. Put your left ear on your left shoulder. You can keep your eyes closed if you'd like. When you're breathing, it also relaxes your mind. And the right ear towards the right shoulder. Good job. Back to the center. We'll do that one more time. We're just stretching out the neck here. Back to the center and back to the right. It's good to hold stretches for 10 seconds, but for this video, we'll go ahead and move a little bit faster. All right, let's go ahead and roll those shoulders first. Forward, nice and exaggerated. Let's start to get to moving your body. And now let's roll those shoulders back. Oh, I can hear my back cracking. And breathing. And stop. All right, feels good, feels great, good job. All right, so let's go ahead and take these shoulders and bring them forward. When we bring them forward, we'll go ahead and round the stomach and the spine and the back. Breathing up, pushing everything inward. And then now bringing those shoulders towards the back and arching the back. And when you do this, it'll look like this, breathing in. Breathing in. Good job. How does that feel? Let's go ahead and do some small shoulder shrugs. Bringing those shoulders up to the ear and then down. Up to the ear and then down. All right, let's go ahead and take both hands up overhead. Breathe in. Breathe out. Drop those shoulder blades, reaching all the way to the ceiling. And then now bring those hands down. One more time, extending those hands all the way up overhead. And back down. Now right hand overhead, left hand goes towards the floor, and you're stretching the opposite side here. Go ahead and alternate. Left hand up overhead, right hand down and stretching. I can feel this in my back. Sometimes it gets a little stiff in there, but you need to learn where your tightness is and what you need to really work on. Opposite hand again here and stretch. Good job. Let's go ahead and take hands overhead. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist, and then lean over to the right. We're stretching those obliques, leaning from the side. Don't put your head on your arm. Just keep your head straight. Come back to the center. Take the left hand, grab the right wrist, and lean over to the left. Good job. And then once you get in a position and you breathe in and out, you could probably go a little bit more into the stretch. Good job. All right, take those hands down. One more time, hands up overhead. Go ahead and stretch to the right. Back to the center and to the left. And back to the center. If you need to, you can go ahead and put your hand on your hip and push that hip out to the side. Gives you a little bit more stretch. There you go. And then back to the left side, hands overhead. See? Nice and easy. All right, guys. We'll go ahead and stretch right, bringing that hand down towards the knees, and then to the left. Just still stretching out that lower back and getting everything moving here. One more time. And again. And guess what? The entire time you are stretching, you are holding your core, your abdominal muscles. They're in there somewhere, but try and keep your core tight. Keep your core tight and your feet grounded. All right, let's move on to stretching our hands. You'll take your right hand in and take your right hand out. No, we're just gonna flex that right hand, take that left hand and push those fingers back. And then this is a stretch here. It looks just like that, just bringing it out to the front and then forward fold, stretching this wrist. There you go. All right, left hand, flex. And then what I like to do is I like to kind of take my opposite hand and kind of feel on those pads of the fingers and stretch them as well. and then now forward fold. There you go. Let's go ahead and roll those wrists around in a circle, and then now the opposite way, and now crank your Harley. There you go. Good job. Now that we've done basic stretching for the upper body, let's move to the lower body. Take your right leg and put it in lunge position. Toes are facing forward. Your knee is not to go over the toes. And the left leg, turn that foot out a little bit and just lean into the stretch, moving your hips forward, keeping them straight. You're stretching out your glutes and your hamstring here. And then now bring back that leg and go down towards your foot, reaching that hand towards your ankle, or if your toe is better, just go ahead and stand straight up and back into that lunge position. If you have to do this starting in a chair, perfectly fine. One more time, all the way back. And be careful of your knees. Don't rest your hands on your knees. Make your hand above your knees, okay? One more time, stretching forward, pushing those hips forward, and then now leaning back. And then this one you can actually pick up your foot, flex it, and get a good stretch on that opposite leg. Good job. We'll go ahead and put both feet together, and then opposite stretch. Left leg forward, right leg back, point those toes out, and push those hips forward. Good job. Guess what? My abs are tight, and I'm breathing, right? All right, go ahead and stretch that hand down towards that foot, nice and slow. You can start to feel everything waking up here because we haven't done this in a long time, or we haven't done it properly, but go ahead and now stretch again and lean forward. Good job. Find your balance. We're going to work on that next, okay? Go ahead and bring those hips forward one more time. And then now flex that foot if you can. It's all about balance here. Good job. All right. When we bring both feet together now, I want you to just lean your butt back and out. Drop your hips down. You're stretching those shins and that calves, and you should be able to feel it. Oh yeah, in the knees a little bit too, and then stand up straight. Wow, that's a real stretch. One more time, just squat down and back up. Stretching out those shins, you have two of them, and back down. Great job. All right, we'll take hands overhead now, and then we'll bend over to the floor and touch your toes. Good job. Come on down. Here's where I want you to start breathing at now. We got those feet under your hips. If you can only go here, that is fine. Practice will get you there, and progression will be well worth it. So go ahead and bend over to the floor. And touch the floor, hands on the floor. Go ahead and breathe. Try and make sure your stomach or your fupa is not resting on your legs. Bring it up. All right. And then we'll come all the way back up. Head coming last. I don't want you to get dizzy. And bring those shoulders back. One more time. We're going to take those hands up overhead, and we're going to push that butt back. And then we're going to bend over to the floor, touch the toes or the floor. Once you breathe in, once you breathe out, you can be able to get a little bit closer to bringing those knees, your nose to your knees. All right, let that head hang. Once that head's hanging, shake it yes, shake it no, and breathe. And now you can bend your knees and come all the way back up with your head coming last. Yeah, how about that? Let's do it one more time, okay? Hands overhead, bending over to the floor, pushing that butt back and bringing those hands down, touching the floor. Once you get into position, you can let that head hang. All right. Go ahead and walk your hands over to the right. Oh, yeah. Another stretch. It's happening right there. And then walk back to the center. And then walk over to the left. Good job. And then walk back to the center. Breathing in and breathe it out. And then bending those knees and coming all the way up, making sure your head comes last. Bring those shoulders back with it. How'd that feel? Yeah? Feeling good? All right. All right, let's go to a little bit of balance. Let's go ahead and start by putting the feet underneath the hips, hips underneath the shoulders, and the shoulders are back. Take all of your weight and put it on your left leg, and then go ahead and bring that right foot close to you. And if you can, just go ahead and balance. This would be a good time to have a chair next to you if you need to. All right, I'm just going to balance here on one foot, and then we'll put all the weight on the right leg, and then bring that left knee up, okay? Hey, it is tough to balance, okay? One side is usually easier than the other side as well, too, okay? So one more time, we'll go ahead and balance on the right foot. It also helps if you breathe through it. Make sure your core is tight. Go ahead, put that weight on that right foot. Bring that left knee up to about here is fine. First time, we want to make sure that, we're able to get it done. One more time, putting all that weight on the left foot and bringing that right knee up. Okay? Good job. And then put your weight on your right foot and bringing that left knee up. Good job. Shoulders and hips and everything is square and straight. All right? Let's go ahead, put all that weight on the left foot and then bring that right knee up to your chest. Yeah, this is most definitely easier in the chair. But if you want to balance, this is how you go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and roll that right leg, the right foot, and then in the opposite direction. All right, go ahead and point and flex, point and flex. Good job. Now let's take that right leg and bring it out to the side. Open up that hip. Holding on to the chair is a good idea right now, right? All right, go ahead and bring it here and bring it down and sit it down. Put that foot down. Good job. Go ahead and get your balance here, and then let's go ahead, put all the weight on the right leg, and then bring that right knee up to your chest. Like I said, one side's usually a little bit easier than the opposite side. All right, but we want to balance them off and get them both at the same equilibrium. All right, go ahead and roll that left ankle, and then the opposite direction. Go ahead, point and flex the foot, point and flex, and then let's go ahead and open the hip. Okay, go ahead and open up the hip. Good job. And then bring it back, and then sit it down. Good job. Boy, that's called balance. All right, let's come up on your tippy toes, both feet as high as you can, holding your core in, and then roll back onto the heels. This might be a good time to hold on to a chair, but if you can do it without, standing up on those tippy toes, we're stretching out the Achilles and getting ourselves, stretching our toes. Go ahead and roll back on your heels now. And come up one more time on your toes. And then now back onto your heels. All right, go ahead and right foot, roll the ankle and the opposite direction. Flex and point, flex and point, and then now with the left foot, go ahead and roll the ankle and the opposite direction. That feels so good on my toes. And then now point and flex, point and flex. Good job. We want to just get everything all stretched out, and it's starting to feel real good, and you're feeling real good right now. All right, let's go ahead and stretch out our hips one more time here, bringing that hip up to your chest and bringing it out to the side, bringing it back to the front. And then let's go ahead and extend that leg out, right leg out, bring it across the left leg above the knee or below the knee, and then let's just sit down for a glute stretch, okay? Usually I can do this without the chair, but I won't try and be fancy today. Go ahead and breathe in and breathe out. This is stretching the shin, the glute, and everything. Sitting that butt like you're sitting back in a chair. And then now come back up to the top and release. All right, left leg here, bring it up to the chest, bring it out to the side, and then bringing it back to the front, and then extending that leg, and then bringing it across the right leg above the knee, and then go ahead and squat. And this is a glute stretch here. There you go. Good job, and then come back up and release. You can do that one more time here. Go ahead, bring that leg up to your chest, right leg, bring it out to the side. Hips are straight ahead, bringing that leg in front, and then stretching it out, crossing it across the left knee, and then go ahead down for a glute squat. There you go. This is where balance comes in. Good job. Good job. There you go, and release. Let's go ahead and do the left leg. Bring it out to the side, open up that hip. And then back to the front. And then bring that leg across the right leg, and then sit down for another glute squat stretch. There you go. Good job. And then come back up. Whew. Go ahead and shake it out. And then now we'll move to the floor for our hand exercises, okay? But what I want you to do first is to come back to the back of your mat. Bring your hands up overhead. Come down to the floor. And then walk your hands out. Everybody knows this as the downward dog. Once you get halfway out, put your hands all the way down on that floor. Go ahead and pedal your feet, because I know that hamstrings and those calves are nice and tight there. And if you can, go ahead and pedal your feet. Once you're able to release some of the tension in that stretch, go ahead, push those hips back. Take your head, bring it down, look in between your legs there. You can shake your head yes, shake it no, making sure that those shoulders are, your head's not deep into your shoulders. And then now come on down and come onto all fours. All right, let's go ahead and take hands overhead. And breathe out. Go ahead and push that butt back and bring those hands down to the floor. And we're gonna get ready to walk our hands out. Go ahead and walk your hands out. And this is into what we would call the downward dog. Go ahead and pedal those feet. Push those heels up and down so that those calf muscles are probably pretty tight, but once they pedal the feet, the tightness will release a little bit. And when you're able to, get both of your heels down on the floor. If you cannot, it's okay. Let's go ahead and take the knees and put them on the floor. it'd be a good idea right now to have a towel or a blanket to put under your knees if you need to. And now this is where the fun starts. Go ahead and flex those toes, push your hips back on the toes and stretch those toes out. Go ahead and put them back on the floor. You can pedal them out a little bit more and then push your hips back. All right, let's talk about these hands and these wrists and carpal tunnel and typing and using our phones. We're going to stretch the hands. This is a really intense stretch. I want you to go ahead and listen, follow the directions, and then try and do it yourself. Let's go ahead and put the knees under the hips and then those hands on the floor. You can open up those fingers, and I want your hands under your shoulders. And once you just put your body weight there, you will feel the stretch in your wrist. Go ahead and lean forward a little bit, and that is a great stretch for your wrist. And then lean back using your body weight. You can see my body weight is kind of pushing my weight. I'm breathing, and then I'm going to go to the left side and keeping those wrists all the way down on the ground if you can, and then I go to the right side. Sometimes you might not be able to do this, but with practice it will get easier. And then move your body into a slight circle, giving those wrists a great stretch. And then now the opposite way. Good job. All right. And then once we're done with that, come on your knees or if you can, and then go ahead and roll those wrists out now so that you can release some of that tension that you were feeling there. All right. And then crank it back and forth here. All right. Next, we're going to take those wrists and those hands and we're going to point them outward. Kind of keep your hands close to your knees. And then just put all that weight there underneath. Your wrists are under your shoulders. Go ahead and lean forward a little bit. And it's all the way. I can feel it all the way in my thumbs and everywhere. And then come back on your wrist. One more time. Put that weight straight up. And then move it towards the left. Gently, gently, gently. And to the right, gently, because this is so intense. And then now a little small circle here. And then the opposite way. Now very gently, lift everything up. And you'll know that this is intense. You'll start to feel it. And it might feel a little bit like, ooh, ouchie, ooey. But we want to start stretching and getting into the habit of releasing some of this stiffness so that everything can be flexible. This is called the fundamental flexibility flow. So for the last stretch with these wrists, I want you to take these hands and bring them towards your knees. Very gently and very carefully. And then now I want you to go ahead and lean forward. This one might be a little bit easier, but when you come back, that one is really intense. And we want to stretch it. We want to start to lessen up all the tension that we feel in our hands. Go ahead and lean to the left, lean to the right. Fight, team, fight. Go ahead and go into a small circle. Reverse that circle. Good job. And then very gently, one hand at a time, bring it up. And then go ahead and roll those wrists. And I'm telling you, it may hurt today, but the more you do it, the more you practice, everything will start to feel a little bit better and things will start to loosen up. Very important to flex so that everything flows properly. All right, guys, let's go ahead and come down onto our, stretch those hands out. Let's stretch that lower back and go ahead and put those toes together. Push those hips back and then just relax here. And breathe. And the last one, go ahead and walk yourself up. Bring those hands back and come up onto your knees. We'll walk those hands out and we'll bring those hips forward and stretch out that lower back. Good job. We're almost done here. Make sure those shoulders are not in your neck. Stretch your body out. Go ahead and look over to your right foot. Nice and slow, stretching out this lower back. And then look over to your left foot. Good job. And then bring those hips all the way back. And then you can now bring those hands back. That was a good stretch for the back. Can do it one more time here. Go ahead and walk those hands all the way out and bring those hips and put them on the floor. And breathe, holding those abs in. This is a good ab stretch as well. Look over to your right and then look over to your left foot, and then back to the center, and then now bring those hips all the way back. And if you can come and sit on the ground, Indian style, bringing those knees down towards the floor. And that's it for today. Great stretch, great breathing, great balance, and your heart's happy and I'm happy. So, now that we did this for yourself, I want you to always remember to be kind to yourself, and then be kind to someone else, and then now be kind to me. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. This was Body Rehab Fitness. This was the first day, one day at a time.